I was determined, he wrote, to see how they all looked as they signed what might be their death warrant. I eyed each closely. Undaunted resolution was displayed on every countenance, unquote. Such was the strength and courage of our founding fathers. Up until the time that this document was written and adopted, there had never been a people in the entire history of the world who had been truly free. You see, because all rulers, up until that time, all governments were based upon the divine right to rule, and the fact that the king or the queen or the emperor or the sultan or the emir or whoever it happened to be sitting on the throne owned the subjects being the people. And the ruler had the right to do with those subjects whatever he or she wished to do with those subjects. Even in the Roman Empire, under the Senate of Rome, the subjects were never truly free, not even in the beginning, before they began to crown their Caesars and began to become an empire ruled by emperors. Even in the beginning, the people were not free. Ever. In the history of the world, there have been slaves. In the history of the world, people were subject to the whims and desires of whoever ruled them, whoever sat on the throne or headed the government to which they belonged. Only when the Declaration of Independence was written, signed, and adopted, and then later, after a futile, vain attempt at bringing the country together with the Articles of Confederation, only when the Constitution was finally written, adopted, and became the country, the nation, and then when the first 10 amendments were written and adopted as the Bill of Rights, only then had any man or woman in the history of the world ever been truly free. And we are to this day still the only people in the history of the world, even unto this day, who are truly free and who are protected by the document known as the Constitution and the amendments thereto against any oppression by our own government or any other. Our rights, our Creator-endowed rights, are protected by that document. They limit the government's power to oppress the people or to take away our Creator-endowed rights. And that is the unique idea that changed the history of the entire world and made this the greatest nation ever to appear upon the face of the earth. And we're going to talk about that unique idea right now. Some of you will be angered by this, for you have given up the concept of a creator. You have said that God is dead. You have said that we don't need God and that God interferes with your life. And what you're going to hear here is just the opposite. What you're going to hear here, folks, is that without God, you are nothing. Without God, you have no protection, and you are no better than the cockroach who scurries beneath your sink when you turn on the lights at midnight. For without a creator, man is nothing, nothing. Man is on the same footing and the same basis as any other animal, any insect, any fish, or any plant on this earth, and is subject to the laws of the jungle. And anyone who is strong enough or cunning enough to enslave man is entitled to do so under those circumstances. So whether you believe in God or not, you had better listen very carefully to this program, for it was the statement that there is a creator and that creator has given man unalienable rights that set men free for the first time in the history of the world, for that is the cornerstone, that is the foundation upon which the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and this nation rests. And without it, it will all crumble to nothing. All of it will crumble into dust beneath your feet and will become as nothing. For the unique idea of the American Constitution, the unique idea upon which the Declaration of Independence was based, was simply this. Our forefathers, the founders, embodied a unique idea. Nothing like it had ever been done before. The power of this idea was in the recognition that people's rights are granted directly by the Creator, not by the state, not by the king or the queen or the emperor or the emir or the sultan. And that the people then, and only then, grant rights to government. The concept is so simple, folks, yet so very fundamental and far-reaching that many people fail to grasp it. And they fail to realize that without this idea, they have no protection, they are nothing. It's very simple. First, there is a Creator, more powerful than anything else. This Creator endowed man with unalienable rights. Now, I travel around this country and I hear people talking about inalienable rights. Forget it. There are no such things as inalienable rights. The correct term is unalienable rights. Endowed by the Creator, not by the Constitution and not by the government, but by the Creator. Unalienable means that they cannot be alienated from man. Man himself cannot contract to give them away, cannot throw them away, cannot brush them aside, cannot discard them, for they were given by the Creator and cannot be taken away, not even by yourself. Thus, the Creator gave man unalienable rights, and man thus created the government for his mutual benefit and protection, and gave the government some rights. This is how that idea works. And that the rights that the people give the government, only the people can take away from the government, and the government can never take the unalienable rights away from the people. So the first time in history, the entire history of the world, man stood free as a sovereign king in his own right, with the government as his servant. And never before had this ever happened. Without this concept, it could never have happened then, and cannot exist now. For the idea is this: that there is a Creator that is all-powerful over everything and everyone. That the Creator gave man a special position in nature and allotted to man certain unalienable rights which can never be taken away by anyone, not even by man himself. And that man, in order to create an organization for the mutual benefit and protection of those being governed, create a government which they give rights. The people, man, can take those rights away from the government, grant the government more rights or less rights, and the government is the servant of man. The move in recent years by the socialists and by others who want to destroy this great nation, to do away with God, to destroy God, to destroy religion, is for the purpose of taking away the unalienable rights of man and making man once again the property of the government, of the king, if you will. And this must be resisted by those who understand this principle to their dying breath. It cannot be allowed to happen. And that's why these people, these socialists, the ones who want the one-world totalitarian socialist state, the ones who want to destroy this great republic. That's why they must destroy God. And that's why they are so unhappy, because they have no concept of God or of a creator. For them, this is it. And when this life is over, there is nothing else beyond that time, beyond their death. So they are afraid. They are scared little children who need a great, mighty, bureaucratic government that is all-powerful to protect them and give them work and give them food, in exchange for which they are willing to give up all concept of liberty and freedom. And for this reason, they must destroy this founding idea, the cornerstone of which the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and this entire nation rests, is the concept that there is a Creator, a God, who endowed upon mankind unalienable rights. That is the entire purpose behind the attack upon God and the religions and Christianity, is because if they can convince the world that God does not exist, then this nation cannot exist, the Constitution cannot stand, the Declaration is turned into a meaningless document, and this great nation known as the United States of America will crumble. And that is why I must tell you, folks, that whether you believe in God or not, whether you believe in a Creator or not, you had better start. Simply because of this, folks. Without a Creator, without Creator-endowed unalienable rights, you are nothing. This nation is nothing. The Constitution is nothing. The Declaration of Independence is nothing. Our forefathers were wackos. And this great nation and the freedom and liberties and opportunities that come with it will crumble around your feet. Because without a Creator and Creator-endowed unalienable rights, you are no better than the cockroach who lives under your sink. And with that, I will leave you to think and ponder this for a little while I take a short break. And after this break, I will return and we will continue with the other ideals and principles that are based upon this one cornerstone that the entire nation rests upon. It is our strength. It is our nation. Don't go away, folks. Don't change that dial. I will be right back after this short break. Welcome back to the hour of the time. Folks, if you would like to be on the cutting edge, the forefront of those trying to save the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, this country, and thus freedom for the world, you need to join CAGI, the Citizens Agency for Joint Intelligence. It's our own private intelligence network. Much of what you hear on this show is the result of the efforts of many, many heroic men and women who work in this network, some of them taking great risk to supply information. A lot of benefits come with this membership, but I'm not going to take up valuable airtime to tell you what they are. If you would like an information package, or if you'd like to join, send $45. That's the membership fee. If you'd like an information package, just write and ask for one, and you'll get it. To William Cooper, Post Office Box 3299, Camp Verde, Arizona 86322. That's William Cooper, Post Office Box 3299. That's 3299, Camp Verde, Arizona 86322. Or you can call Stan and ask him to send you a packet, and it'll be on the way tomorrow. Or I should say, you could call him tomorrow during normal waking hours, and it'll be on the way to you tomorrow. Stan's number is 602-567-6109. That's 602-567-6109. and these numbers and the address will be repeated again at the end of the program. Let me recap a little bit about